All right, 7 o'clock on Monday, July 22nd.
Okay, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good news.
Good news. So last month in the audience, Mrs. Maxwell was here, and during the consent agenda, we approved 2 field trips for our Columbia High School Gear Up students over the summer, and they've concluded their field trips. But the one I wanted to talk about and brag about is the trip they took to Olympic National Park. You can see we had a handful of students that went up there, experienced the larger group you see down the bottom and side, but just had a heck of a time. I already talked about her since she's been back. It was an amazing time in the events and learning really that was going on during the summer, which also you can see them out in boats and checking stuff out under microscopes, what they collected from the water, etc. So just all around had a great time. Second trip that you also approved was their trip to WSU, the leadership piece, which we just concluded. So that was also a very successful trip. So they've been out doing, we've got groups of students doing stuff all summer long. So stuff already, and it's been I wouldn't say overly busy summer, but it's we've got lots of kids doing some a lot of different great activities. So no, you want anything to that?
Pretty neat. The only thing I guess I would add is all of these gear trips, obviously a handful of them in the last everything's based on ratio. To get a small school, we had money to get syndicated. This is Maxwell's quite for an answer, so you can see she took a lot more than a couple of kids the right side of the lot. She got a lot of spaces that big schools couldn't.
Awesome.
A lot of cool experiences.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Board operating principal review. Todd, would you superintendent on the board?
Yep.
School board meetings are open to the public, but they are not public meetings. Board share ideas about new programs and new directions with the superintendent and other members of the board in a timely manner before presenting publicly.
Superintendent, bring matters to the board in a timely fashion, present programs, projects well enough in advance, and suggestions for change proposed for the board to be addressed without upsetting activities already in motion.
Okay. Are any changes or additions?
We're going to have one adjustment to tonight's agenda, and I've adjusted on our slideshow. So we're going to move resolution 11.1 up to 8.1. So we're going to move the resolution for the fiscal budget and hearing directly after the.
So we'll take action right after.
So we'll take action right following. Like I said, I've got that organized in here, so I'll walk you through that.
Just look up.
Yep.
Moving on to the consent agenda. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda with no changes. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the 7 items?
Questions on anything on this?
Just had a question about the success coordinator.
So, no, that is someone we had this past year.
Okay.
It's a new person in that position.
It's 2 years ago, we sponsored those things for all programs director. She informed me that lab learning system program was with the high school, so we had a person for student assistance. That person was hired to go to the council. Awesome.
Really?
We see pretty good results with that. Are we able to see travel that's going,
Probably the most travel thing she's done is summer school program this year. Part of that, and she'll be students participate. And she got the communication with parents, kids, and she'll be performing there. Parents at conferences and helping the parents when they about helping the kids. Specific data for actually, which are something to do.
That's an extra number of dollars that you do on to the season. There's seven months of students. Okay, any questions? Any other questions? That's it. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Okay.
Aye. Unanimous?
Any visitors? Seeing none? We gotta wait till 7:15?
So we'll move ahead. I've got a pass, we'll come back to, we'll start something about the hearing. So I'm going to skip past these slides. To our enrollment budget status. So, this off has over camera, but obviously, nothing's adjusted, with our enrollment. So we'll just move on to the financials.
All right, for general fund, as of the end of June, we are at $2,065,081. Capital projects fund, our balance for the end of June is $260,000.
Used to separate this out in everyone, but there are no bond reserves anymore, and that size of bank things in the tax side, so that's where you see that.
That service fund, we're at $253,663. ESP fund, we have $187,450. With private, transportation vehicle fund, we're at $46,142.
Can I ask a question on the private fund? Is that something that gets replenished every year, or how does that money come in? Or do we try to spend it down each year, or?
So a lot of that's you'll see that being spent down. There was, it's called Invest Ed. And, but, it has been in the past in ESB, and I think with a, question is school through the into general fund. So we're trying to keep whatever's in ESB and then utilize the general fund.
You see those funds, a lot of them things from band, instruments, rental, parents, camps, like that, shoes, athletics, stuff. I can't afford some of those pieces, those invested funds are quick and easy funds for the kids. So I stuff for students that, are very low.
So do we invest in that ourselves, or we grant, or?
Donations, right?
Yeah, typically, you can do a couple things. Sometimes they'll cut you a check, sometimes you'll get a matching in terms of that. They'll do it a little differently depending on how much is available. I've seen it done both ways where, obviously, COVID, pre-COVID, there were some large chunks, trying to get out to students that needed certain things. And I've seen you from back there, it's really got, I'll make $2,500 up to, and you can match that, so they'll do different things, different schools. I've had, my previous district I was at, they would go out and solicit, like, some of our community, local businesses to take and match certain things that we could. We're going to do that, working with those things, there's lots of different ways you can add to that and work with that. Okay, that was the enrollments and budget piece. Any questions on that? Good. Okay. We'll move right along ahead to the administration report, as we start till 7:15.
At that time?
Yeah, 5 minutes. If you need to stop in the report, I'll let you know.
So I put this in front of you and I'm realizing that my purple became blue and my gold became orange. Probably remember from previous, what we were really wanting with our higher scores. This is freshmen and sophomores. We're wanting that blue box to be as big as possible. The orange box to be pretty large and the gray box to be as small as possible because the blue represents students. Represents the top. There are students that are at or above grade level in the it's been highly contested. Orange represents kids that are in a year or less below, and then the gray more than a year below. So the good news there is that I really had a lot of growth in all spring. One of the things that doesn't get reflected because everything's just based on the grade cycle. If you look off to the right, in the fall, I didn't include winter, but in the fall, our range of freshman reading scores started to clear in autumn. Spring, we have second grade through grade plus. One statistic I didn't want to put in front of you, not be comfortable, I guess, even talking about it, but one of the things I'm really excited about is Pella. We have 6 special population students. English language learner or special education, that includes kids, IELTS kids, Kevin kids. All 6 of those, 2 or more years of growth. So they're still in that growing population there. But to get that kind of growth, 6 kids, is pretty awesome. So, anyway, there's some positives that don't necessarily show up here, even though obviously there's some which is a positive. Also some highlights. In the spring we had, in the freshman level, we did our sophomores as well. We had 100% success in both high frequency vocabulary and phonological awareness, which is pretty cool. Our vocabulary, our overall vocabulary, those high frequency stuff we should know. And the comprehension, reading, and farming, basically what that means. In our special population areas where we utilize it, we have materials just like elementary and middle school are to get those kids out.
Some of those specifics you're talking about those areas, I've been talking using a lot of big picture numbers that I've mentioned in the group that some very specific things that he's talking about, some of the vocabulary, phonics pieces, you can really drill down to some of those specific things. You can kind of limit on some of those pieces, you can drill down to some skills specific pieces beyond just the overall reading of high school.
It is a pretty big program. That's the kid who come up with a program to this fits well when we're talking about scholars, kids learning very well programs, or social services programs. Not so much what you're talking about when business or students, the rest of the stuff. Happy with the book here too. You see in the mathematics area, again, the same thing, we have 6 special population kids that saw tested at the kindergarten level. We're still in the grade law area, but most of those students tested second grade level by school. We love seeing that happen, it doesn't get reflected in the process. Flip yours over on the backside, we pick up sophomores. Sophomore range from 1st to 10th in fall, and 3rd to 10th in spring. But again, I would say we got pretty stellar growth students who still are in the Greenlawn area, which is exciting. Over in that reading area, and that's, we still do have one of our students in math school at the second, and spring with the rest of the special applications, which will at least a year, if not more.
So, how do we better reflect that? More data points? I mean, I know that's kind of really wants to do more data, but,
We can, and again, I mean,
you know, I hear Kyle saying a couple times that we're having some really awesome things happen, but it's not reflected in the numbers.
in this,
Yeah.
you know, we can certainly show that in a different way, but for the time of the presentation, you know, this is great. I mean, we have to go a little deeper and some of that in the lab, you know, so we're trying to give you a big picture, just overall how we're doing according to where we want those things to be. As he's saying, they're still gray, but if you look at that, you can take that gray bar and look just at those, and then you look at just what that looks like and show the growth over your, you know, averaging, some of those you can see almost every 2+ years on those things. You can, that's the progress you want, but that's the progress you're gonna have to make to get, you know, let's get closer to where they need to be. So yes, we can look at that, and we have the ability to do that, but for the sake of this, or what we choose and how we want to look at that and show it out down the road, we can certainly put that together. Good data. So I'm going to jump back to the public hearing. If there's anything else you want to add, we can come back to that. So, public hearing.
Open the public hearing for the fiscal budget 23-24.
Okay, this is our fiscal year 24-25 budget. This is a fund summary. It's just a nice overall summary of all the funds. That's showing our estimated beginning fund balance, projected revenues and expenditures, any transfers, and estimated ending fund balance for each of the funds. General fund, we're estimating a beginning fund balance of $2 million. Projected revenues of $14.8 million. Projected expenditures $15.6 million. Transfers $125,000. And that is going to debt service to pay off our loan course payment. And our estimated ending fund balance will be $1,390,280. For capital project fund, we estimate a beginning fund balance of $175,000. Our projected revenues, we're estimating $721,000. Projected expenditures, $116,000. With an estimated ending balance. Debt service, with beginning fund balance estimated at $252,000. Projected revenues, $128,500. Projected expenditures, $154,000. With an ending balance estimated at $226,500. ASB, we're estimating the beginning fund balance of $175,000. Projected revenues, $201,650. Projected expenditures, $247,000. $247,221. With estimated balance, $128,000. Estimated beginning fund balance for transportation vehicle fund, $146,000. Projected revenues, $94,000. Projected expenditures, $240,000. With the ending fund balance.
$240,000 expenditure on the transportation vehicle represents what purchases?
Purchases, every major you can
one bus.
Yes.
Okay. On the capital project, something is not right there. It should be, it should be negative if you have 175 in and then 741 in and then 916 out and 175 out. You should be negative there by some amount.
It's just the difference between the two, isn't it? The top two.
So you would add 175,000 plus
Plus
the
the
741,000.
Your beginning fund balance plus your projected revenue should balance out the expenditure.
Right, but then if you take another 175,000 out of it,
The bottom line is your summary of the difference. The row above excess of revenues, that's your net. That's the difference, they're not going down.
Then that difference of the revenue and expenditure.
Yeah, that line is the net difference, between the revenue and expense.
But you're accounting for the estimated beginning balance, which balance that out.
So we're estimating, sorry, Mike.
Right.
Are you there yet?
if the 275 is canceled, the top 175 is the balance and the bottom is what's going out.
No, the bottom is the difference between 741 and 16.
Yeah, so the ending balance, we're taking the beginning fund balance of 175,000 plus the 741,000, and subtracting the 916,000 for that estimated ending fund balance. That excess revenue expenditure line is just the net difference between revenue and expenditure.
Well, just a dumb engineer, I won't argue with the accountant at the end of the table, but okay, whatever.
Your calculator.
So we're estimating to be under our board approved fund balance.
Estimated.
Okay, and thank you.
This is our estimated revenue and also our four-year forecast. For 24-25, we're budgeting 702 FTE. For 25-26, we're 711. 26-27, 705. 27-28, 700.
Is there a reason why we're going lower than our last 2 years average? That just.
Just one, let's. All that can change, if something happens, but that changes everything.
This is a nice summary of general fund expenditures. Down at the bottom, you see we have the certificated salaries, classified salaries, employee benefits, supplies and materials, purchase services, travel, and capital outlay, which would be major repairs or remodeling, all of that kind of thing. If you take cert salaries, classified salaries, and benefits, that is 80% of our total budget. And then we have 4% for supplies, 15% for purchase services, 0.24% for travel, and 0.07% for capital.
Which brings us right to the Moses Lake nightmare, because if you're upside down, the only way you can fix it is to get rid of people, because that's where 80% of all your numbers are.
Yes.
And we're really glad we're not in the Moses Lake model.
This is a page that we are required to report on. It's reporting our material supply and operating costs, also known as MSOC. The estimated amount of MSOCs that we are expecting to receive is $1,042,072. And then our total amount we propose to spend for basic ed and district wide support is $1,859,329.
So we're funding this out of the general fund? Is that part of that?
Yes.
The difference?
$800,000.
As an estimate.
Okay.
Now we are getting into the 4-year projection, which, starting, I think it was in 2021, we were required to start recording 4-year projections. We have this first, we're going to have one for each of the funds. This one is general fund. So this first year, 24-25, our current year, we kind of went over already. That ending fund balance is being at the $1,039,208. That balance is carrying over to 25-26. The beginning fund balance is carried over. Then we have revenues, 18.3 million, expenditures 15.7. The ending fund balance is $3,342. Again, that balance is carried over to 26-27. Revenues 15.6 million, expenditures 15.7, ending balance $515,905. And then 27-28, we have revenues 15.9 million, expenditures 16.3 million, ending balance $76,922. For capital projects, our projections are living within our revenue and expenditures for each year, which would be our tech revenue. So revenue is $425,000 and expenditures $425,000 for 25-26, 26-27.
Tech levy expire.
December of 2026. Same time our EP&L.
If we're gonna have any major, additions or remodeling, it's gonna fall under this fund as well. Debt service fund, this is used to pay off, currently our energy upgrade loan. That's going to be paid off in December of 2026.
So I'm familiar with that. I don't think we have that still out of debt service. Several years prior to me, showing up Dr. Gates, worked with you guys to work on an energy audit. We did a bunch of energy upgrades and things of that nature. And that's still paying out the last few remaining years of that out of debt service. It's the only amount of the debt with denied. So those are the last 5 years.
So we have gone over the current year budget, the ending balance, $226,500. We're carrying that over to 25-26. Our revenue is $128,000, and that's going to be a transfer from general fund to debt service to pay that payment. The expenditures were estimating we've got for 26-27, our revenue is $138,000, expenses $23,000. And we expect to pay that up to the year. We don't have any anticipated revenue or expenditures for the next year. ESD fund, this is used to record all our revenue expenses for student activities. For 24-25, our ending balance is projected to be $128,831. For 25-26, our revenues expected to be $201,650, expenses $201,650, and we have continued that same level for the next 2 years. And TDF, this fund is used to pay for the major costs of bus repairs, and if we purchase any new buses. Our current budget, we're gonna have the ending balance at 0. Our revenues and expenses for the next 3 years are estimated to be $93,000, and expenses to be $50,000 as well. You guys have any questions?
Let's go ahead and close the meeting. You guys done? Yeah. Seeing no public here, the meeting testimony, we'll go ahead and close the meeting. And move to the board.
Comments, questions, following that, this is the move piece of the resolution, if you want to finish the conversation. No questions. Good.
Good. Can you give us just a little comfort with the general fund that's not going down to almost nothing?
I'm comfortable and confident with those numbers.
That we're heading that way?
I'm confident in the numbers that we will have, yes.
Well, but what we're really agreeing to tonight is next year's budget.
Yes.
Everything beyond that is just kind of a,
Yes. So let me say, I'm comfortable and confident with the estimated numbers we use for our expenditures and our revenues. And I'm confident in that those numbers will lead us financially where we need to be.
And those 4-year projections typically show us right out of money every time.
In the past, we usually been negative. This is the first year I've seen our 4-year actually end even as a fraction of in the positive. The last few years, they've been negative numbers before. So part of the state, we have to run this out based on some analysis on these pieces. And so we have to factor in all kinds of different inflationary pieces.
Okay, I'm good. Is this a roll call or just regular vote? Okay, any further discussion? Okay, and a motion?
make a motion to accept resolution 2324-05, budget for next year and the 4-year forecast.
I have seconded.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous?
Okay, so we've done our enrollments and we've done our financial pieces. I just want to bring it back to, were there any questions? We kind of got them off at the end. You know, come back to that. Were there any other comments, questions, thoughts before we move on? No, it's fine.
Okay, it looks like there's growth. I mean, that's I think what we want to see on the paper. Looks good.
We're going to continue on. WASDA conference. So, reminder in the fall, the WASDA conference next year, it is in Spokane, November 21st and 23rd. And I think Michael, you've already, whenever you indicated you wanted to attend. But just a reminder that the conference, how about perspective? It's their headline. Jeff Utech, these are the 2 keynotes that will be there. This year, Jeff Utech, who is a technology, AI.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
We're going to He's kind of the leading voice out there in terms of artificial intelligence. He's actually working with the state on our new AI standards, which is a policy. Why I put those two over in a minute, but he's kind of the leading voice out there in terms of schools working with students and how we ought to set and chart a course with AI. Listened to him 3 or 4 times now. Really enjoyed his video. And always every year they bring more sweet teacher of the year, so we see kind of, those will be the 2 keynote folks, that'll be those just FYI. If that's something you're interested in, please let me know as soon as possible, so just get you registered and get your hotel set. Okay, any questions? Policies. So this is the second reading. I want to bring this back to you, Brad, as in the past, I added the pieces on there. You can see the top 3 were essential, and the bottom 2 were encouraged. I put the bottom 2 that were encouraged because of, as I read through them, I went through, I kind of did my homework in those pieces. They all have to do with the Washington State standard, artificial intelligence, and I really like the language in there. I think it's beneficial to us. So I have those 2, even though they're just encouraged. Top 3, do you remember, are deemed essential. They come from that Senate bill that really took the previous nutrition policy, divvied it up, and they separated recess and wellness. That's why those are brand new. And to help offset some of the other thoughts, the wellness committee piece that we've had questions and concerns about, I've already had a conversation with Brandy, and we have what I will say, a long-term solution to that policy piece on the wellness committee, or in that works.
Good.
That helps.
You guys have specific questions, any of the 5? Good, second reading? Good, okay, let's take action. Okay, motion.
I make a motion to approve the second reading of the policy.
5 of them? Yeah, correct.
I will second.
Okay, further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
Okay, so, board calendar review. So this is a hope to generate a little bit of conversation before we leave, really around in August. We're really in July here, talking about, when we come back in August, we'll look at next year's calendars, we always do, but it's kind of at the beginning of the year, believe it or not. When we're talking August, we're talking back to school already, right? So the ads, you're gonna start seeing them, it's gonna be happening. And when we meet, we're either going to meet, if we decide we want to meet earlier in the year. We've done that in the past, and in the last few years, we've kind of said, hey, let's move the board retreat and extend that August meeting, so we're doing the once rather than twice. I'm really open to the group how you want to begin looking at that. This is kind of our beginning of the year kickoff, where I kind of talk to you about, here are the goals, strategic plan, here are those things that we're working on. Obviously, it's an input, it's a workshop survey session, so it's not just me doing that, we're engaging conversations around that. Typically, there's the infamous open meetings, public act training that we sit through, and then we sign off on the operating principles for the year if we want to make any adjustments to that. So we can either add that to a session on the 26th. Reminder, that is our first per diem day with staff, and it's open house night. So we do that welcome, hot dogs, and remember, it's kind of that first day back on that evening. So we can move it to that night, or if you prefer, hey, let's set up a separate meeting. We've done that, we've gone off-site, we've done certain things. It's really up to you, but if there's a want or a need to do one or the other, I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions, and we'll chart a course for August.
I'm open to it. Work for you, just have another meeting. It goes to a whole new one. If we have some specifics that we want to set out and hammer out, then we'll need to get in the weeds a little bit. We'll leave it at that too, but
That can be done 26 too, you know, just whatever your will is for when you want to meet, each time you go, how much time you need.
I
I guess my vote would be to go the 26th and just pick that night and do that. I'm not available the 12th.
I don't know.
Do we have to do the,
Is that,
No, it'll be both of those.
okay, sounds like it's 26th. Okay, all right, we'll set that up, we'll get some agendas out for that. Anything else before we close?
do we have to do the public records training that night? Would that be,
Another night?
another night?
Okay. Okay. You want to split that up a little bit?
Let's see how it goes, but
Yeah. We doesn't have to be done that night. I've just done it that night at the beginning of the year, so we don't, yeah, we can certainly do that. Okay.
yeah, anything further for the good of the board?
Well, is that it? Are we done?
We gotta stop the recording once we close.
Okay, I thought.